How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell. How are you, Charles?
I'm doing great. And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long, and with me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. I got the asking you how you were out of the way before the intro, because you got a little butthurt about it last week.
Maybe I'll cut it out so that you'll seem like you didn't do it. And here I'll splice in me saying that you didn't say it.
Oh, dear Lord.
I probably won't do that.
Yeah, probably not. It seems like a lot of effort. Well, not a lot of effort. It seems like it would be a minimum.
It's a very slight amount of effort, but yeah.
Yeah. How much effort would you say it is to edit these podcasts? Is it a lot?
It depends how long it is and how shitty you are.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So if you're messing up a lot and I gotta cut a lot of stuff out, then it takes forever.
Oh. I'm just wondering, should
I'd say about 40 minutes, probably.
Okay. I'm debating, should I learn how to use audio editing software, and then I can help?
This seems like a conversation not during the podcast.
Yeah, I thought so too. But we have a TV show that we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah, we do. What is it, Charlie?
Fuck. You got me last week with this too. So
I hit you every week with it.
Yeah.
It's the same joke.
Listen, I could
only I'm laughing.
I could tell you about the script I've been writing for House of Malice too. You want to hear about that?
Oh, you gonna pitch that soon?
Sooner rather than later, but you know.
Not today.
Not today.
It's my turn.
It's Jake's turn to tell us about a story. Tell us a little story all about how his life went flip, turned upside down. Right? It's a couple of guys.
So, no. Okay. Well, there's a couple different. I haven't been able to think of a title really because I want something light because basically I'm doing a sitcom in hell.
Oh.
Or in Hades, the underworld.
So the Greek underworld.
Yes, the Greek underworld, and for so far I just have. Just You, Me, and Hell, or Hell and High Water, but I think I got that from somewhere.
That is a movie about like bank robbers, and it stars Chris Pine.
So just You, Me, and Hell.
You, Me, and Hell.
Just You, Me, and Hell.
And Hell.
So that's the title for now. If you come up with something better, throw it in.
I'll be thinking about it.
So I want to do a sitcom in hell, but I was like, how do you do a sitcom in hell? So the way we got into it is because I want to do the Greek underworld and the weird punishments. And our main character, her name is Serena Black. Mm-hmm. She is a serious drama actor. She's a method actor who would never do comedy or TV.
Of course not.
And so the pilot episode is going to be, I don't know if this part of the show is going to be just done in the intro and then we actually get into the episode, or if we're actually going to do this or not. But essentially so Serena Black is in her trailer when her agent comes in with scripts to review. She explodes at him because she's upset that they're comedies and sitcoms, and she's also mad because he called her by her real name, Serena Black, rather than her character name. And she's a method actor, so, she explodes and really upset.
Her character that she's playing being the Joker with big tattoos and grills.
Yep.
Yep.
And so she fires him on the spot.
Oh, good.
And he runs out crying because she was his only client, and that was his whole livelihood.
Bad agent.
Also, she's mean, so a
Yeah.
lot of mean words make you sad. And so she gets on set after that, and is handed roses by an admirer, but rages because the card says her real name. As you can see, very upset about this whole method actor thing. And then berates the camera guy for talking. I kind of imagining that Christian Bale video, or the audio, because there's no video to it, where he's yelling at some dude when he's trying to prep for a scene because the dude messed him up. So that kind of just anger just pouring out.
I love that fucking audio clip. There's so many animated, this Christian Bale's Freak Out animated, and they're all great. It's the one time Christian Bale's been a dick. that we know of.
Yeah. So after a little bit of her, freaking out, the scene starts, and in this scene she's supposed to get shot, and she does get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Realistically?
Relevant. Relevant in this time.
Yeah, in this day and age.
And she gets shot and is immediately just falling down this tube. I imagine the way to hell is like a water slide.
Yeah, it's like that thing
just
that
going down a big tube.
The slide that's in like the McDonald's playrooms, those big tube ones, and they have the little windows on the side.
Mm-hmm. Because it's hell, it's got pee on it.
Yeah, of course, just like McDonald's.
And so she flies down this slide. Yep, just like McDonald's and Chuck E. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So she plops down in this hellish sitcom set town. So it's like it's all just like sets. That's the whole town. The whole existence is sets.
Yeah.
Like they all have the big opening on the side for like the camera and stuff.
Mm-hmm. None of them have roofs. They all just have light fixtures.
Lights
roof.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So the first episode, she has to find an apartment. So she like drops into this world and she like just becomes this character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she's like fighting it, but she is this character and she has to deal with it. So her character is just herself though, Serena Black. And she's like this, girl who lost her job in the big city as an actress, and now she's coming back home to the small town where she's gonna, try to start again. And she moves in with Arcane, Arachne. I don't actually know how to say it. Arachne's probably the way it is.
Arachne?
That makes sense. Arachne's, she's this famous Greek person who's in Tartarus, because essentially she said she was better at weaving than Athena, and so they had a contest, and Arachne won.
Yeah.
And in rage, Athena turned her into a spider.
That makes sense.
And sent her to the pits. Yeah. So Arachne.
So is she still a spider?
But Arachne, instead of being a spider, is going to be a Spider-Man. So she has to wear like a Spider-Woman costume at all times and has like Spider-Woman powers.
Yeah.
And that's because Athena is a big Marvel fan.
That's funny. I like that.
So it's actually kind of cool, but it also is like she's like constantly sticking to everything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And accidentally shooting the web fluid. And,
yeah, she can't brush her teeth. She's got a fucking mask on. Her breath is really getting
fight
bad.
Crime. It's like, sitcom crime, so it's really lame.
Yeah. The Hulk.
So, so they move in together. And they have like a begrudging friendship that becomes just a normal friendship. Mm-hmm. And their across the hall neighbors are Sisyphus and Ixion. So Sisyphus, as you know, he's the Greek king who was a shithead, and so he has to push a boulder up a hill.
Is Sisyphus the Greek king who fed the Olympians his own son, or was that a different one?
That is Sisyphus.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Wait. Is it? I don't know.
Yes it is. Yes,
okay.
It is Sisyphus.
I know things.
Pretty sure it's Sisyphus. Anyway, Sisyphus, he has to push the boulder up, forever. But due to budget cuts, he now has to push Ixion's wheel forever. So Ixion, he's strapped to a burning wheel. That's his punishment. Mm-hmm. Because what did he do? He killed his father-in-law and then he hit on Hera. These are all real Greek people, by the way. So actually, Zeus wasn't mad at him for killing his father-in-law. He was mad at him for hitting on Hera.
Of course.
That was the big thing.
Zeus always known for being very much committed to his marital vows,
His punishment is he's tied to a spinning burning wheel. So that spinning burning wheel is now the boulder that Sisyphus has to push.
Yeah.
Due to the budget cuts in hell. Also because, they got to be together for this sitcom. And so they're the next door neighbors. They're the Chandler and, Joey, if this was Friends. Yeah. And so, because it's a sitcom, of course, they have a place where they all hang out.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
The bartender is Tantalus, which is ironic if you know Tantalus.
Is this... Wait, I think I know this myth.
Tantalus is the guy who fed the gods his son.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he fed the gods his son. And now his myth is that he has to, or like his punishment, is that he, like, is always close to, in like, Greek mythology, he's always close to water and a fruit tree, but every time he reaches for it, it's just out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, he's a bartender, but he can't drink or eat.
Yeah.
So he's just constantly starving and thirsty, and he has all these drinks and food around him, but he can't eat any of it.
Yeah, he can't touch any of it.
Just like it just goes around his face, whenever he tries to. It's kind of like if you've seen the movie Airplane,
mm-hmm.
the pilot has the drinking problem. It's like that.
Yeah.
Like he just misses his face every time he tries.
Yeah. I like that.
So that is Tantalus.
So he's the bartender at what's the place called?
I just read it was called Hades, but any other names?
I was thinking something to do with the river Styx. Something like that, like Styx End or something.
Styx Crossing.
Styx Crossing. See, we got there. It's a collaborative process.
Achilles heel.
Oh, that's fun. I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
Achilles heel, and we have Achilles like
that too. Yeah.
The rest of Achilles went up to Elysium, but just his heel went to Tartarus, and so they just have Achilles heel in like a glass jar that they keep up on the mantelpiece.
And their logo is like little baby Achilles getting dipped in the river Styx, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they got like, just the heel above.
Yeah.
Achilles heel.
They got his mom holding him by the heel, and that's the... I'm assuming it's like an old-timey English tavern, so they have that like wooden plaque that like moves in the wind that's hanging off the front,
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, we can do that. In front of the bar.
Yeah, Achilles heel. Get in there. There's a guy playing the piano. I don't know if there's any sort of... Maybe it could be Orpheus.
Orpheus plays the piano?
Yeah, because Orpheus...
Yeah, we could do that.
He's obviously...
Because he comes down to help, but maybe he also, like, he doesn't stay there. Like, he has his shift there, and then he leaves.
Mm-hmm, and then he goes back up to
and
Elysium.
If maybe one episode they'll ask him about it, and they'll be like, yeah, I had to save my wife that one time.
Mm-hmm. I messed it up.
And I messed it up, but actually, Hades was like, all right, if you play at this tavern on the weekends, you can have your wife back. He's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, Hades is pretty easy about his deals, And then everyone else in the bar looks at him, and they're all in horrible pain, or like starving to death, or on fire, and they're all just like, "No, he's not, you dick. He's really harsh about his deals. You just got lucky."
Yeah.
Because he was a fan.
Yeah, because he liked your music. Yeah.
So he's our piano man.
He's our piano man. And I was also thinking in the middle of the town, there's like a statue, but it's not a statue. It's Atlas sitting there holding the world.
Yeah.
And he's like throughout the series, he's like a person that people go to ask advice from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But mainly it's just them ranting to him, and he just has to listen to it because he's stuck there.
He's stuck there holding up the world, and maybe he's got like this horrible itch.
It's so hard to talk, because he's under so much strain constantly.
And maybe like we get like a few words out of him each season, and it's like the only thing we hear him say this season is like final episode. Serena's talking to him, and he's just like, "Shut up,"
Yeah.
Shut up.
And she just keeps talking, can't even hear him. She's like,
I hate this place so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the other cool Greek myths and gods and monsters we could have in the underworld, because there's lots of cool ones,
Yeah.
My personal favorite is, of course, Prometheus, the Titan.
Yeah, I think he could be there.
Well, I think it would be funny if he was stuck at the bar, because he gets his liver ripped out of him every day by the vultures. So he can just drink as much as he wants because he gets a new liver every day. It grows back.
Yeah.
I think that could be funny. A fun little gag.
He's just like strapped to the bar stool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is now. and there's just crows that come in and take his liver. He just drinks.
Yeah, he just drinks it, falls through.
Pours out, and there's like a bucket under him to catch it.
And he's like, yeah, you know what? Could have been worse. At least I'm not like that guy. He points out to Atlas. It's like, yeah, he's a total asshole, that dude.
Yeah. Okay, so the rest of the episode, Serena is compelled to develop a crush on Ixion because it's a sitcom and she's like forced to do it. She's obviously, you know, she's fighting all this stuff the whole time, but she's also a method actor, and so she's kind of like, you know, diving into the role because it's a role, but also herself is fighting against it because she hates comedy and she hates sitcoms.
Yeah.
And so, her and Ixion go on a date, which goes poorly because Sisyphus has to be there to push him, you know? So it's like a...
Yeah, he's third wheeling, but it's like...
Third wheel.
It has to be.
But the Ixion is the actual third wheel. It's the only wheel there.
That's fun. That's a good joke.
Uh-huh. And so, meanwhile, while they're going out, Arachne is trying to weave a contraption to get Tantalus food because he's so hungry.
Yeah.
Right? And she can, you know, weave because she's got the Spider-Man powers. And so she's like, you know, trying to set up this like big Goldberg machine to like trick the curse into letting him eat, right? Mm-hmm. And so they've got the whole bar is just covered in this web stuff. And we're cutting back and forth between the date and this. And it's finally, like, they've tested a bunch of times. And they're like, this is the one. It's finally working. It's going all the way down, like it's like a bread roll or something, you know, and it's going all the way down the slide, and it's coming across, and it's like gonna go into his mouth, and you're like, oh my god, it's actually gonna work, and it like crosses the point where normally it gets sent to the side. It's like, oh my god, it's gonna work, and that's when
Ixius rolls through.
Ixion comes rolling in and knocks the web and knocks the food out.
And he's on fire.
Sisyphus brought him up a hill and dropped him because they had a fight, you know?
Yeah.
Like they had a fight because he's like, oh, you know, you don't even care about me. Like you're just pushing me along because you have to, and you ruined my date. I hate you. And Sisyphus is like, you know, I'm just trying to help you, man. Like you're, you know, I can't help that you suck. You know, like she didn't not like you because of me. She didn't like you because you suck. And they're like at he's like pushing him up a hill while they're arguing, and they get to the top, and they have one last, you know, little spat, and he drops him off the hill, and he rolls all the way to the bar and knocks the food from Tantalus's face,
and burns all of the web because he's a flaming wheel, and it's all just like all this hard work is just ruined, and it just returns to the status quo. Because that's actually a pretty cool parallel, you know, between Greek myths and sitcoms, is that it's kind of like returning to the status quo is kind of the, you know, ending to all of them, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
So that's the pilot episode idea.
I like it.
Some of the other episodes ideas I had were Serena needs a job, so she starts working at the bar. But she can't stop drinking because the bartender has always been Tantalus, who can't drink. So no one has had unlimited access to like the nectar of the gods and the ambrosia and all the stuff back there, right?
Yeah.
And she didn't even know they had like the nectar of the god back there. Like, you know, she's drinking fucking whiskey, and they've got, you know, this amazing stuff.
Got ambrosia.
And so she becomes like a nectar addict, you know. Like we're gonna have a kind of silly episode where she's like addicted to the nectar of the gods.
Yeah.
And she can't stop drinking it. And Tantalus is like struggling to stop her because he can't like get near it because of his, you know, affliction. He's like trying to take it from her and like slips out of his hands. He's like, this is so annoying, you know. I can't do anything about it. But also during this, he's going to develop a crush on her. This is our big will they won't they of the series. Of Tantalus.
Of course. And Tantalus, I assume Tantalus would be like a withered old man character, but if he's going to become the romantic, you know, one of the romantic leads, he should probably be just like a handsome guy who's really skinny, you know?
I think all these characters are, you know, young, good-looking people, because it's a sitcom, you know?
Yeah. We cast...
Maybe we can have an episode where, like, they get, like, some special fire that can illuminate, like, people's real forms. and they show it up to Serena, and she's like a corpse, and they show it up to like Tantalus, and he's like this withered old man, and you show it up to, you know, everyone else, and it shows you their real forms, and like Arachne's really a spider.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking about Arachne.
Atlas is just normal Atlas because he's a Titan.
Yeah, he doesn't change. I was thinking about Arachne. Can the Spider-Man suit just be like 2 sizes too small? You know? So like the bottom, so it's like capris, you know, like the bottom of her legs are showing, like it doesn't go all the way down her arms, just so it's that extra uncomfortability, because she is in hell.
Yeah. I imagine she wears clothes over it too.
Yeah, of course. And she's always like, it's so fucking hot here. And we're like, first of all, it's hell. Second of all, you're wearing 2 pairs of clothes. Of course it's hot. And we get mad at her. And she's just trying
like, I'm not going to let this, you know, this spider suit affliction stop me from being stylish, you know?
Yeah, come on.
I'm a weaver. I know how to make clothes, you know? Why am I gonna, you know, not do that for myself?
Come on. What am I, stupid?
But so Tantalus develops the crush, but, you know, we get this sort of, you know, season-long sort of gripe between him and Ixion, where he doesn't want to ask her out because, you know, she went out with Ixion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like, oh, you know, I'm friends with Ixion. I don't want to. It's breaking the bro code.
Yeah, of course. You know? They had the bro code back in the olden Greek times. You know.
Ye old bro code. That's what they call it.
Yep, of course.
Meanwhile, Sisyphus is helping Arachne find a job that makes her happy, because she's tired of working in a sweatshop for Titans.
Mm-hmm.
So her like normal job is making these giant clothes for Titans and to live in hell.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like doing that, obviously.
That's just
because it's, you know, it's not rewarding to her creatively.
That's just a really good gag of imagining this person in a too small Spider-Man costume weaving these giant like socks and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's just like, this is so boring. And then it's just like this enormous, horrible monstrosity Titan comes over here. Thanks for my socks. Sorry, I ripped the last pair. I was playing soccer. Goodbye. Dunk,
Just like pound,
dunk,
pound.
dunk.
Yeah.
They all just talk super slow. Yeah, I like that.
Another episode idea I had was we have a Halloween special where they have to they all go back to Earth as ghosts to solve Serena's murder. Because they're like, we got to figure out who shot her. You know, that's just like, you have to finish your unfinished business.
Of course, it's important.
Yep. And so they all get to go with her. And it's like this Scooby-Doo style episode, but they're the ghosts. And they're going through and they have to, like, you know, figure out who killed her. And we're going to have a very much a Murder on the Orient Express ending where everyone on the set killed her.
Yeah, because they all hated her.
They were all
so
part of
much.
it. They all hated her so much. The gun was fully loaded. If the gun misfired, they had backup things like somebody was gonna drop a light and everything.
That's fucking great. Could I suggest a side plot for that Halloween episode where Arachne gets separated from the main group and she is like just wandering around Hollywood Boulevard or whatever, and somebody sees her and thinks she's the ghost of one of those, you know in Hollywood they have the people who dress up like characters on the street and like they bother people into giving them money. They think like this person like is convinced that Arachne is the ghost of one of those people that they wronged at some point in their life. And so it's just,
oh my god,
the episode
that'd be hilarious.
is Arachne and this random Hollywood person just like trying to make amends for this thing, and she's just constantly being like, no, I'm not, I'm
Arachne. I'm from hell, like the Greek myth, right? You know this.
Are you from
stuff.
Detroit? Is that a Detroit name? Arachne? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And it just ends with them both like selling mixtapes. Or like giving away mixtapes and then bothering people into giving them money for the mixtapes that they've handed them. You know? A classic scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something silly like that. Then another one I have is Serena dates Ocnus. Ocnus is this guy in Greek myths who essentially he has to weave a rope, and every time he makes it, a donkey eats a little bit more. So it's like he's weaving this rope for no purpose, and a donkey's eating it as he goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's what's interesting about Ocnus, though. I could not find any reason why he has to do this. Like, he didn't do anything
You can't
wrong.
find his crime that he committed.
There's no crime to fit the punishment that he has to do this forever for.
It's just the gods being a dick.
There's a Roman theory that he is weaving the rope for humanity and the donkey is death. And if he stops weaving the rope, the donkey will eat it all and all humanity will die.
Ah. Maybe that...
So that could be a little bit of a plot point. Like, they're dating, and because he hasn't done anything bad, she finds him really boring. Like, he's just a boring guy, and maybe that's the reason why he got punished to do this.
Yeah.
Because it's a boring task for a boring guy. And, you know, like, they're dating for a little bit, and then she realizes this, and she breaks up with him. And she's, like, you know, back at the apartment talking to Arachne and Sisyphus and Ixion, and she tells them, and they all freak out. They're like, what? You broke up with him? Like, he's gonna be devastated. She's like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but you'll get over it. And he's like, but no, he's gonna stop weaving the rope. He's gonna be like, you know, life is terrible. He's gonna stop weaving it. We're all gonna die. The whole world's gonna end.
Or maybe he can be like, oh, you like bad boys, huh? You like bad boys? Well, guess what? I'm gonna kill all of humanity. That's a pretty bad boy move to me. And she has to, like, convince him not to do it somehow.
Yeah.
And then maybe she finds an equally boring person for him to date. And so they end up happily ever after. Somewhere else.
Yeah, she finds someone really boring.
Yeah. And think of a boring lady from Greek myth. Pandora. All she did was open a fucking box. She didn't even do anything cool.
Yeah.
Just go hang out. You two. Just go kiss and leave us alone.
If we wanted to make it relate it to this story, like our characters we have already, we could do something with Arachne because she weaves, right?
Ah.
So maybe she starts dating him because she's interested in someone that weaves also. You know what I mean? And that could be, you know, her big... They could date for a long time, you know what I mean? Like, this could be a long-standing relationship, them together, because they both weave.
Yeah.
And then... maybe he breaks up with her at some point.
I'm just not that into
that's how we end
Spider-Man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. I just can't.
I'm sorry, I hate Marvel movies.
Listen.
It's just like, I do too. I'm cursed. I'm sorry.
Tom Holland is just not nearly as charming as everyone says he is. Just really,
Damn,
like...
take that back.
Huh? I'll never take it back. That's the truth. And I'm the only one brave enough to say it. Me and Arachne are the only two people brave enough to say it. Tom Holland is mid.
You're not Tom Holland.
I am also mad that I'm not Tom Holland. He's good abs. He's got good abs and good hair, but...
You could have good abs if you worked out.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work. And I'm not getting paid. He's getting paid millions of dollars to have good abs. I'm not. I wouldn't get jack.
Okay, yeah, but there's tons of people that, you know, have good abs and they're not getting paid for it.
Yeah. Idiots. I want to be like Paul Rudd. I'll only get abs when I get money for it.
You don't know that. Maybe he gets abs just cause.
Nah, he got abs for Ant-Man. I remember seeing the trailer and they had his shirt. They got his tits out and everyone was like, "Holy shit, Paul Rudd's got abs."
Gotta get in superhero shape, I guess.
Yeah. I would like to see a movie about a superhero who's just got like a beer gut, a schlubby superhero, you know? But that's besides the point.
Schlubby. Is it?
Yes, kind of.
That was Avengers Endgame when.
Oh
Thor was
yeah,
fat.
Thor was fat in that one, but he was still the god of lightning. Give me like, I don't know, Booster Gold, you know, Booster Gold, but he's got like a paunch belly, you know.
Okay.
That's what I want. Someone whose powers whose abilities don't come from their physicality at all, right? So they can get fat, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Booster Gold's all technology. Or Swamp Thing. Give Swamp Thing a big belly. Don't give him abs. Why? Who gives a shit? Why? Let's do it.
Back to the show real quick.
TV show, yes.
I kind of want to reiterate some stuff about the characters because, like, you know, this is a sitcom world, right? And they're going to be forced in these sitcom situations.
Yeah.
And they're going to be forced through, like, you know, sitcom-y dialogue. But they still are these people, and they have these traits, you know what I mean? Like, Sisyphus is still, like, this deceitful murderer. I believe the reason he is there is because he, like, used to trick people into, like, the woods and murder them. Like, he was a psychopath.
Yeah, okay.
So Sisyphus is still, like, a psychopath who wants to murder people. It does things just to... Like, he does things just because they're bad or just because it's funny to him, you know what I mean?
He's a prick.
So he's just kind of like a dick, and he'll, like, you know, this will be translated into sitcom world through pranks and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But, like, he's still evil, and his advice for things is going to be like, well, why don't you just, you know,
set it on fire.
kill Loch Ness?
Yeah.
Fucking
Gives a shit.
Eat his fucking kids.
Burn down the whole world.
He doesn't have any kids. All right, well, get him kids.
Get
and then
pregnant.
kill them.
Have those kids. Eat them and then kill him. See?
But, like, he'll be trying to say this stuff, but it'll be, like, filtered through sitcom dialogue, you know? So he'll be like, you just kill. I mean, you can just,
get him out of the way. You know?
If you know what I mean.
A little something,
yeah, 'cause
something.
they gotta be, like, you gotta PG.
Yeah, of course.
That'd be fun.
That would be
if they're
funny.
forced to be PG sitcom.
I do like that the sitcom version of a serial killer is just a kind of like a prankster. I do think that that's a pretty apt comparison, you know?
Then we've got Arachne, so she'll be, she's like, you know, she challenged Athena to a weaving contest and won, so she's really prideful and thinks she's better than everyone else at everything, which translates really well into sitcom.
And she
you know,
is Spider-Man, so that's pretty, you know, all that pride plus Spider-Man powers.
Plus Spider-Man powers, yeah.
Maybe no spider sense, you know? No tingle.
I think it's just like the very spidery scent, like the power. I was really only thinking the like
The
you
wall
know,
sticking and the
the
webs.
shooting webs, and the wall sticking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But see, you know, Arachne she thinks she's better than everyone else. She thinks, you know, only like she's, you know, Serena's roommate. So every time Serena like cleans or cooks or something right like that, Arachne's like trying to be nice, but at the same time she like thinks she does everything better.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like if Serena cleans the bathroom or something,
She'll be like, "Oh,
she'll clean it again."
She'll be like,
right
"Oh,
afterwards.
You tried so hard.
You did it wrong.
You tried so hard. I really appreciate how hard you tried cleaning the bathroom. I just, you know, fixed it up a little bit for you." She walks in. It's a completely rearranged, totally different bathroom. You know?
Yeah.
Sight gags. Dog.
She's kind of like Monica in Friends, you know, like where she's like a little neurotic about things. Everything has to be clean. There's no stains on anything. She's like a little crazy. Maybe like before anyone sits on the couch, she like webs it up so that like they don't get anything on it. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Like they don't get any spills. Every time somebody's like about to spill something, she'll like shoot a web just under it to catch the spill, and then like get really upset at them.
She gets super annoyed about coasters.
Oh, that'd be funny if her spider sense was only for like spills.
Yes,
and things
I
like
love that.
It's like she can sense it. Like maybe she'll be out on a date with Ocnus one episode, and her spider sense will hit, and she'll be like, "Oh no!" And like the whole episode is Sisyphus, Ixion, and Serena back at the apartment trying to clean up the mess, knowing that she knows about it, and they've got to like, you know, cover it up before Arachne gets home from her date.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
And then she gets back. It's all cleaned up, you know, obviously. And Arachne gets there and it's like, I had a sense. What spilled? What's wrong? They were like, oh, you know, nothing spilled. There's been no spills anywhere. You just, you know, maybe just a misfire, whatever. It's revealed that a giant dam in hell broke and cracked, and this water's all spilling everywhere. And just as they've noticed it, the water like rushes through the house and destroys everything and turns it into a giant, you know, pit of mess.
Yeah.
And she's just like, my sense.
Yeah, maybe like whatever they spilled something on the couch, right? and or no, how about they put a cup on a table without a coaster, right? And it marked the wood, and they're like trying to figure out what to do. What do we do? And in like a stupid but like trying to be helpful mood, Sisyphus grabs the chair and chucks it out the window, and it hits the dam, right? The hell dam. And then they're like, why would you do that? Now we don't have the chair. Like, they don't even notice it hit the dam. They're just concerned that he just threw away the chair. Yeah. And so they have to go out and they have to buy a new one that's identical. But it's, like, not really identical, so they have to paint it and everything. And it's, like, finally perfect. And she gets there, and they're, like, a little worried that she'll notice. And just when everything thinks it's going to be okay, that's when the dam floods everything.
Dam floods, destroys everything. She's like, Sisyphus. Yep. And then Sisyphus turns to camera and shrugs his shoulders. Did I do that? Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't steal a line from Family Matters, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
So I got two more I want to go through real quick again. So we got Tantalus. So, he fed the gods his kids, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, or like a kid. Wait, no, his son. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I didn't think about that. Fed the gods his son. Anyway, that's obviously going to have to play into the fact that this dude's freaking crazy. So maybe he's always trying to feed them weird shit in meals. Like, whenever they order something from the restaurant, they're, like, picking through it. Like, is there anything in this?
So, yeah.
And and it's like, there's like a fucking titan in there, like a demon or something. They like they peel open the pie a little bit to see inside, and they're like, oh, that's a unicorn.
All right, well, now I know what the hair that I found in my soup was.
Maybe when he develops the crush on Serena, she starts to notice that something's different, or maybe the others start to note something's different because her food is actually always normal now. Like, everyone else has fucked up food, but she always has, like, a normal pie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. And that's when maybe, we keep the crush is secretive. And then, Arachne, because she sounds like the smartest character, is able to deduce it with her skills.
Yeah. Maybe she crawls up on the wall and looks down when he's cooking. Then we've got Ixion. So Ixion's the one that, hit on Hera, so I guess he's going to have to be like the Joey type, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to have to be flirting with everyone. Just constantly hitting on every girl that comes around. That's why he hits on Serena immediately. He's probably going to be hitting on Arachne all the time. Mm-hmm. Hitting on literally everyone, guys, girls, titans, unicorns, horses. Whatever comes through, probably hitting on Atlas, and Atlas is just, like, so annoyed by it. But he can't do anything because he's fucking under the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got the classic bachelor Joey or Barney type. Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
No, Barney from Barney, the dinosaur.
Yep, Barney.
That guy was banging all day long. That dinosaur.
He was. Dinosaurs all over the place. Well, that's my show. I don't know if you came up with a better title. I'll probably come up with one in post and put it on
I've been thinking, but I really think we need to incorporate the river Styx, because I think that lets everyone know that it's a Greek-themed show. But like we could do something with sitcoms. How I Met Your Demon. Maybe not that.
I kind of like Go to Hell, but
I think Go to Hell works. Let's stick with Go to Hell. And when we pitch this to HBO, we can, run it by their marketing team, see if any of them come up with a better idea. I liked the show. I think it was fun. There were a lot of good ideas. I like incorporating the myths into other things, because myths are fun. Fancy free.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it'd be cool to have a sitcom with, these Greek tragic, terrible people.
Yeah, and we could there's like so many that we could introduce a new one each episode and not run out for like a few seasons,
Yeah.
Unless this is like a
They could rotate them
yeah,
through.
rotate it. Unless this is like a Family Guy or The Simpsons situation, and this sitcom goes on for 20 years.
Oh, I just thought of an idea for Prometheus.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Prometheus is the butcher.
Ah, yes, I like that.
You can go to his Prometheus's butcher shop, and you're just buying
Yeah.
him because he regrows every day. Or
He doesn't care. He's chopping up everything.
It's hell. It's hell, and you're like, you gotta. It's not cannibalism. You're eating a titan, so it's different.
Yeah, it tastes the exact same.
Yeah, so they'll go to the butcher shop and they'll be having a conversation with him, and he'll be talking. He's like, hey, so what kind of cut you looking for? And she's like, I'm looking for something a little less fatty, a bit more muscle on it. And he's like, I'm fresh out, but I'll have some more tomorrow. It'll regrow around 7:30 if you want to come in.
Yeah, come on down.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And we'll have some famous actor play a bit part. We'll get Brad Pitt to come in and he'll play Zeus or something. Because I'm assuming we would zoom out and the sitcom would be being watched by the Greek gods. And they're like, look at these idiots.
Oh, that would be hilarious if we had, if this was like a streaming show, right? And we can do, in the beginning of the episode we have, or maybe at the end of the episode we have the TV, after the show finished conversation with Zeus and the other gods watching. It's oh my god, I can't believe Serena went out with that guy that week. That's crazy.
God, ridiculous.
Such a douchebag. I feel like her and Ixion are perfect together, and then someone else will be like, what? Nah, her and Tantalus, man.
Tantalus knows what's
You're
up.
crazy.
Yeah, or we could do it. Yeah, like that show that they do for The Walking Dead. I forget what it's called. After The Walking Dead or whatever. We just have.
It's like that, except it's with the Greek gods.
It's with the Greek gods, and they're just they're all super famous actors that we've hired, and they do 10 minutes, and that's it. Yeah, that'd be good. Be a fun little
I
tie-in.
think that'd be hilarious. Well, if it's 10 minutes, it's probably longer than the episode. 22-minute episodes, 10 minutes, it's half.
Yeah,
but
maybe 5 minutes.
If we have a 2-minute, 1-minute joke, probably a minute joke every episode at the end with the Greek gods watching.
Yeah,
I think
that would be very fun.
It would also be fun if maybe not every episode, but a couple of the episodes we have. I was saying if we're on a streaming service because we won't have ads, we have fake ads in it. WandaVision did this, and I think it was cool. So we had fake, Greek-oriented ads that are get yourself some River Styx holy water.
Drink it up, yum
You
yum
can
yum.
be just like Achilles with this stuff, but it's only small vials of it.
You have to.
And so it's just pour it on your arm, and your arm is invincible now. Remember, if you get stabbed anywhere else besides your arm, you will die immediately.
You have to buy 1,000 of the little bottles, fill up a bathtub, get in there.
Yeah. It costs so much money, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Our
limited one bottle per customer.
One bottle per customer. Our biggest purchaser, Jeff Bezos. He has now soaked himself in the liquid of the River Styx so much he has become effectively immortal. Him and Joe Rogan, they get in sensory deprivation tanks full of the stuff. They love it.
Yep. Don't maybe we have a scene a thing with him, and he puts his entire body into it rather than keeping a little bit out like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And he gets consumed into the river.
Into
I think that's what it's you lose yourself if you go entirely submerged.
Yeah.
Or something
Well, that's
like
what
that.
happened.
I don't remember exactly what happens.
Well, when you drink from the River Styx, right? The ghosts, the shades go down there. They drink from the River Styx, and they forget everything that happened to them in their earthly life. Yeah. And then they just begin their journey through the underworld. So maybe we could do that. We could play with something like that, because mind erasing, memory brainwashing stuff, that's always something in high concept sitcoms.
Maybe we have Hercules in an episode or something like that, something like Greek hero, and they forgot everything, and they're in hell, just hanging out, and the relationship, maybe he's dating, it's Hercules and Serena, and the relationship's going great, and Tantalus wants to sabotage it, and he finds out the guy's Hercules, and he reveals this, and he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. I'm married or something.
I gotta go
and then he leaves.
be
Serena's all
a
sad.
hero, and Serena's real sad about it. And Tantalus,
She's like, damn. Finally found the perfect guy. And she's like, well, he was perfect because he's fucking Hercules. That's why.
Yeah. Look at him. And it's The Rock.
It's The Rock, yeah. He's The Rock playing Hercules.
Cool.
Well,
yeah. Like,
that was
good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Go to hell. Now, coming to you at your favorite streaming service, Peacock Plus, whatever it's called.
Go to hell. Brought to you by those that
are already
don't forget
there.
To bribe the refs.
Don't forget to bribe the refs
What's
and other things.
Action command names that we have? Other ones like that.
Like that. I'm sure that we have more than just that. And don't forget to bribe the refs. The hate. It's not really
the hate. That's not a command.
Not a command. More description.
So shoot me last.
There you go.
I do this a lot.
You do. You like them. You like an action, title, which I appreciate. I enjoy an action title as well. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Very Reasonable.
All rookies go to hell. That's one of yours, but I did.
Yeah, you did.
That's not really an action. That's a sentence.
Yeah. It's more of just a descriptive sentence than it is an action.
Yeah, it's not really like.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been
drop off dangerously. There you go. That's a command. Drop off dangerously. There you go. Did it. That's one of Charlie's. That's a command.
I've been your host, Charles Long. With me as always been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloff. If you like what you heard...
It's a pretty good title.
Yeah.
I like it. Drop off dangerously.
If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat. And don't forget, we care about you. And by that I mean, I care about you. Jake doesn't give a shit. He tells me every week, he says, I hate our viewer. Just the one. Me. He hates me.
Well, I hate you, yeah, so that's why.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
Bye.